Okay, so this chapter is going to discuss was isst du gern? What do you like to eat? So you'll notice that the first question is was isst du zum Frühstück? Okay, so zum Frühstück is breakfast. Was isst du? Comes from the verb essen, which is an irregular verb. Now, a regular verb is a verb whereby when you take off the en, like trinken, en, you have left with the stem trink. So trink, 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 it stays the same throughout the ich, du, sie, wir, ihr, sie. An irregular verb is a verb that changes spelling. So, for example, S goes to ESS, ISS, ISS, ESS. It changes, goes back and forth. So you'll have to learn irregular verbs when they're presented to you in class. So for essen, ich esse, du isst, isst, wir essen, sie isst, sie essen. Okay, what do you eat? Okay, so Frau Doktor besucht die Klasse 9, visits Class 9. Sie spricht mit der Klasse über ein gesundes Frühstück. Okay, ein gesundes Frühstück is a healthy breakfast. So they're discussing what a healthy breakfast is. Wie heißt du? Ich heiße Beate. Was isst du zum Frühstück? Ich esse sehr wenig. I eat little. Morgens habe ich keinen großen Hunger. In the mornings I don't have a lot of hunger. Ich esse ein Stück Obst. I eat a piece of fruit oder Toast mit Nutella. Or toast mit is with. Note that ohne, O-H-N is without. Okay? Du solltest lieber, whenever you have lieber in a sentence, ich esse, I eat, lieber is I prefer. Ich esse gern is I like to eat. Ich esse nicht gern, N-I-C-H-T, gern, I don't like to eat. Ich esse lieber, I like to eat muesli or Haferbrei, porridge. Okay. So das ist ein gesundes Frühstück. Ich trinke Milch oder Orangensaft, orange juice. If you were to replace orange with Apfel, A-P-F-E-L, that's apple juice. Okay, so here's the next page. Okay, so again, we have the verb essen. You can go back the page and look at the green box to fill out the ich, sie. So what you have to do then is just find the ich, your esse. Okay, for example, wir. We connect the wir essen. Okay, du. You go through du isst. Okay? So, and the same with trinken. Trinken, because it's a regular verb, they'll all start with T-R-I-N-K. Then you just add on the E-S-T-T-E-N-T, and that's the regular pattern of every single verb in German, and you should know that since first year. Okay, so types of food. So, ich esse Toast mit Butter. Ich esse Muffins. Ich esse Cornflakes mit Milch. Ich esse Brötchen. Ich esse ein Glas Milch. Ich esse heiße Schokolade. Ich trinke Orangensaft oder ich trinke Schokolade. Heiße Schokolade. Ich trinke eine Tasse Tee mit Milch und Zucker. A cup of tea with milk and sugar. Okay, so in Irland isst man. In Ireland one eats. In Deutschland isst man. In Germany one eats. Okay, so Würstchen, sausages, Obst, fruit, Brötchen, bread rolls, Marmelade, Käse, cheese. Okay, so was ist das? What is that? Okay, write the German for each of the food items. Number 1, das ist ein Stück Toast. Remember Stück, S-T-U-C-K. Das ist eine Tasse Tee. Das ist Brot. Das ist Orangensaft. Okay, 5, because they're plural, ist is for one, sind is for more than one. Das sind Brötchen, bread rolls. Und das sind Eier. One I, E-I, is for egg, and E-I-E-R are eggs. Okay? So the next part there you would have done in class is whereby you're listening to people say what they like to eat and you're selecting the correct one. Okay, so this part here is important. Was isst du gern zum Frühstück? Okay, what do you like to eat for breakfast? Now, there's two ways of writing that. You can say what I is ich. Now, we know isst comes from the verb essen, so if we go back here, we have ich esse, E-S-S-E. Okay, so because we know ich esse, come on, Ich esse gern, whatever you want to eat, ich esse gern Toast zum Frühstück. Was trinkst du gern zum Frühstück? Ich trinke gern Milch zum Frühstück. Now, we do one and two again. If you want to put zum Frühstück at the start of a sentence, we need to know that when we put something at the start of a sentence, what comes after it is always the verb. Now, in the sentence, ich esse gern. Ich is the first part of the sentence, which is I. Esse is the second part, which is to eat. Okay, so the verb is always the second part. Now, if we put something before the ich esse, that means you have three parts in the sentence, and now then esse, or the verb, is now in the third part, and that's wrong, because in German the verb is always the second part. So when you zum Frühstück esse ich gern Toast. Zum Frühstück trinke ich gern Milch. Okay. Number 5. Isst du lieber? Do you prefer toast with butter or a muffin? Ich esse lieber, I prefer toast with muffin. Ich esse nicht lieber Toast with butter. Okay. So you can practice a few of those and just and show your teacher the sentence, just to make sure that you know that if you put something like zum Frühstück or zum Mittagessen, Mittagessen, for evening meal or for dinner, and Abendessen, Abendessen, for evening meal, if you put something like that at the start of a sentence, the verb is always come second idea. So zum Abendessen esse ich Kartoffeln, Kartoffeln, potatoes. So who do we have here? Frühstück esse zum ich gern Müsli. Ich esse gern Müsli zum Frühstück. If I were putting zum Frühstück at the start of a sentence here, so imagine where the mouth cursor here is zum Frühstück. Because this is now the first part, ich will be the second part, esse will be the third part. Now that's wrong, because esse needs to be the second part. Okay? Now when I say second part, I don't mean that esse is the second word. I mean it's the second understandable phrase in the sentence. Okay? So we'll do here in a second. Butter, Orangenmarmelade und isst Toast mit Andrew. Okay. Andrew isst Toast mit Orange Butter und Orangenmarmelade. If we were to say for breakfast, we would say zum Frühstück. First idea, second idea is isst Andrew Butter Toast. And isst. I'll start again. Zum Frühstück isst Andrew Toast mit Butter und Orangenmarmelade. Okay. So we have there, was isst du zum Mittagessen? Ich esse Kaninchen mit Pommes zum Mittagessen for dinner. Ich esse einen irischen Eintopf, I eat an Irish stew. Ich esse Spaghetti Bolognese zum Mittagessen. Ich esse Nudeln zum Mittagessen. Okay? So what we have here now is that if you have Mittagessen, if we would put that at the end, start of a sentence, what would it should say here where my cursor is Mittagessen. If we were to put that at the start, what would it be now? Zum Mittagessen esse ich Pommes, chips only. Okay? So, just for a few minutes while we're waiting, was isst du gern? What do you like eating? Ich esse gern, ich esse nicht gern, ich esse lieber. If you want to say my favorite food, it's mein Lieblingsessen ist. So I'll spell that. Mein is M-E-I-N. Lieblings is L-I-E-B-L. Sorry, I'll start again. Mein is M-E-I-N. Lieblings, L-I-E-B-L-I-N-G-S E-S-S-E-N. Now, ist for one, you know. And what do you use for more than one? Sind. Mein Lieblingsessen sind. Okay. These two pages are just cultural information about traditional food that they would have in Germany. Again, what's important in this chapter is the green and the light blue boxes. So, for example, isst du gern Pizza? Do you like eating? Ja, ich esse gern Pizza. Isst du gern Pizza? Nein, ich esse nicht gern Pizza. Isst du gern Pommes? Ja, ich esse gern Pommes. But, ich esse lieber, I prefer to eat Orangen. I prefer to eat oranges. Schmeckt der Pizza? Do you like pizza? Ja, Pizza schmeckt mir gut. It's important. Schmeckt mir gut. Okay. So, again, just a little bit of explanation here. Isst du gern tomatoes? How would you say I like to eat? Ich esse gern. Okay. Do you like Italian food? Isst du gern Italian food? How would you say, I like Italian food, but I prefer, let's say, Chinese food. So, ich esse gern italienisches Essen. The word for but is aber, A-B-E-R. Ich esse lieber, L-I-B-E-R. Now, we don't know the word for Chinese food. Chinesisches Essen. Okay? Schmeckt dir der Pilze? Pilze schmeckt mir gut. Schmeckt mir nicht so gut. Okay. So, how do you say I eat chicken and potatoes? How do we say I drink coffee? Okay, so we have a listening comprehension that you will do in class with the teacher yourself. I want you to pay attention to this letter here, please. Okay, you have recently received a letter from your Austrian exchange partner. Write a letter in reply answering all the questions, which have been numbered for you in some detail. Okay, so vielen Dank für deinen netten Brief. Ich freue mich wieder, wenn du schreibst. So, I want you to note in your hardback copy, vielen lieben Dank für deinen netten Brief. Ich freue mich immer, wenn du schreibst. That is going to be the start, more or less, of every single letter you write. So it's a sentence you learn off by heart. When you're doing the date in German, Ladis is an example of the date. So for example, you would say klein, there will be comma after it, den, D-E-N. You put in the number of the date. So for example, it's the 11th of October, 11, you dot, and you have October. So, and then you have Liebe for Liebe with an E for a girl, and Lieber with an R for a boy. Okay, so the way it goes is that when you have a letter for your junior cert, each paragraph will have a main question. Okay, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs, 5 main questions. In each paragraph, there is actually one, if you count all of the question marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 questions. In here, there's 1, 2, 3. So if you count all of the question marks, you will actually have around 20 questions. So that means you have to answer 20, you have to give 20 lines to answer everything in order to get full marks. So, based on what we know already, kannst du einen normalen Schultag beschreiben? Okay, so the verb is beschreiben. Wann stehst du auf? When do you get up? Wann beginnst du Schule jeden Tag? Wann ist Schulschluss? Und wie viele Fächer lernst du? Okay, so kannst du einen normalen Schultag beschreiben? Ja, wir haben 8 Fächer. Wir gehen zur Schule klein. Also ich mag Schule. Die Schule beginnt um 9 Uhr. Die Schule beginnt, B-E-G-I-N-T, um 9 Uhr. Die Schule endet, E-N-D-E-T, um 4 Uhr. It begins and ends. Wann stehst du auf? Ich stehe, S-T-E-G, um 8 Uhr, and then auf is at the end. Okay. We are answer when the school finished. Die Schule beginnt um 8 Uhr. Wann ist Schulschluss? We answered already. Die Schule endet, E-N-D-E-T, um 4 Uhr. So you use all the time. Wie viele Fächer? We said it already. Wir lernen 8 Fächer. So you have the spelling there. So, next one. Heute bin ich mit meiner Freundin Vera und Florian ins Kino. Wir mochten den Film Indiana Jones 4 sehen. Gehst du auch gern ins Kino? Like ich essen. Ich gehe, G-H-E, gern ins Kino. Ich mag, I don't know, Inside Out. Was für Film siehst du? We answered that. Was dein Lieblingsschauspieler? Mein Lieblingsschauspieler, so you just copy the word that's there for you, ist, I don't know, honestly, I can't think of any actor. Mein Vater macht einen Kochkurs, a cooking course. Okay, so we're looking for the question there. See the word lecker, L-E-C-K-E-R, without es, that means tasty. Okay. Kannst du kochen? Okay, so kochen is the cook. So you take off the en and you add an e for I. Ich koche, so I cook. Ich koche nicht. C-O-N-I-C-H-T, no. Was dein Lieblingsessen? So replace the D with an M and you're left with mein Lieblingsessen ist, I know, toast. Mein Lieblingsessen, if it's more than one sind, mein Lieblingsessen sind Pommes und Cheninkien, which is ham. Was isst du nicht gern? Ich esse nicht gern Brot, if you don't like eating bread. Okay. The next one here is just revision, talking about a handy, a neues Handy, a phone. Okay. So bekommst du Taschengeld. Okay. The verb is bekommen, so you take off the ST. Ich, you always put on an I. Ich bekomme Taschengeld. Wie viel? Ich bekomme 10 Euro pro Woche. P-R-O-V-O-C-H-E. Hast du einen Teilzeitjob? Nein. Verdienst du? Ich verdiene nicht. Okay, so forget that, because you don't have a job. And then, hast du ein Haustier? Ja, ich habe einen Hund. Ist 4. heißt Rollo. Okay, so as you said, you have to answer all of the question marks to get a mark going along to get your full points for what you have to do. Okay, so that is the Was isst du gern chapter of Viel Spaß.